This is an introduction to the National Beef Quality Assurance Program, and it's funded by the National Beef Checkoff. What is BQA, or Beef Quality Assurance? It's really a program that was created by and for the beef industry to ensure a safe and wholesome beef product for the consumer. It was designed to enhance beef quality by preventing drug residues, pathogen contamination, injection site blemishes, and bruises. BQA is part of a changing beef industry philosophy, and it has the opportunity to provide dollars back and profitability back to the participants rather than actually costing a participant money. And it makes good business sense. Realize that consumers are paying attention to what is being said about our product. We must present both our industry and the products we produce in the best possible light in the consumer's eyes. The importance of BQA is that it's a good business philosophy and mindset. It creates the production of higher quality beef products. It provides a strong positive statement to our consumers. It's not only the right thing to do, but it also provides some producer pride in knowing that the job was done well and done right. And it also enhances communication of new developments in the industry that producers need to know about and capitalize on as they go through beef quality assurance training. Now, how do we define our customers? Some of us would define our customers as the cow-calf producer or the C-stock or commercial side. Some of us would talk about backgrounders being our customers. Others would talk about the feedlot or the packer. Some people would talk about food service and purveyor, as being their primary customer. But the reality is that in the beef industry, the consumer is our ultimate customer, and we need to pay attention to what kind of product and what kind of image we project to that consumer. So we need to start thinking about things like total quality management. If we want to improve the quality of any product, we must first identify what those quality defects are, what the shortfalls might be, and anything that might lead to non-conformance, and then take necessary steps to implement changes to reduce and/or eliminate those quality shortfalls. The top concerns for the beef industry is an overall aggregate response from purveyors, retailers, and restaurateurs in the National Beef Quality Audit of 2000 said that, number one, we had a product that was low overall, uniform, and consistent. We had inappropriate carcass weight, and we had inadequate tenderness. In 2005, the National Beef Quality Assurance Audit identified the major factors affecting meat quality as inadequate tenderness, excess external fat, insufficient marbling, and excess carcass weights. For the first time, the 2005 National Beef Quality Audit identified the lack of animal traceback, a need for instrument grading, a clear set of market signals sent and communication between industry segments as areas that needed to be addressed. So what is total quality management? It's really the identification of standards that meet or exceed consumer expectations. It evaluates the entire production scheme, and it develops a production system that minimizes those animals and carcasses and product that we would consider outs, such as dark cutters, carcasses that are bruised and have to be heavily trimmed, etc. And non-conforming product would fit into that category. Now, the goals to improve quality would be to learn how our cattle perform as individual producers in the feedlot and on the rail. Are those cattle staying healthy in the feedlot? Are they gaining at least 3 pounds a day? Do they grade at least 50% or more choice? Do we have any standards which would be considered an out? What are the yield grades of the cattle? Typically, we would prefer to have yield grade 1s and 2s and get a premium for those leaner carcasses, but yield grade 3s are very acceptable. But we do want to minimize the number of yield grade 4s and 5s. And are there any injection site blemishes that might be obvious in the carcasses that may have been created when we gave baby calves shots, for example? If we focus on quality, we can add value to our calves, we can minimize defects, we can enhance consumer confidence, and we can establish a reputation for our cattle. We must not forget as an industry that cows and bulls are part of the beef supply, and we need to consider where we provide injections, same places that we give for the growing and finishing calves. Those injections need to be given in the neck and subcutaneously if possible. We need to make sure that we adhere to withdrawal times, and we need to feed these cows and bulls correctly so that they're of the right body condition or carcass fat that would eliminate or minimize bruising, because we know that emaciated cattle and very thin cattle bruise much easier. And I would add the fourth component to that, and that would be timely marketing of thin and older cows. We need to anticipate that some of these old cows that maybe have broken mouths and some of those things based on their age and their body condition, that these cows are not going to survive another year and could be reduced in market value, and we need to timely market these animals. Now, what about these market cows and bulls? Well, the reality is that for the industry, cull animals, or those market cows and bulls, account for 15 to 20% of a gross herd revenue. Market cows and bulls account for 25% of all beef consumed by the United States consumer. And so they become a significant part of the beef supply chain. Remember that cows and bulls contribute whole muscle products like steaks to particularly the low-end steakhouses. Roast beef and Philly steak sandwiches are also produced from these market cows and bulls, and they're not just hamburger.